uncanny similarity to the attack, the terrorist attack of September of the summer of 1914. And that the events which are now unfolding in the world, the attack on Afghanistan, the attack on Iraq, the new American imperium that is taking over the world, are all meant to serve one mission: to pave the way for the state of Israel to wage a big war. And as a consequence of that big war that Israel is going to wage, the territory of the state of Israel is going to dramatically expand to encompass the biblical frontiers of Israel, of the Holy Land. Bible says, from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. That's not true. The Quran proves that that is false. The Holy Land does not exist from the river of Egypt to the river Euphrates. That is false. But it's there in the Bible. They put it in. And so Israel has to wage a big war which will dramatically expand the territory of the state so that Israel will control the Suez Canal tomorrow. And Israel will control the oil of the Gulf tomorrow. And there will be a concomitant attack on the US dollar. And the US dollar collapses, and when it collapses, it will bring down the whole world of paper money with it. This is our lecture on Islam and the international monetary system. When Israel wages that big war, I expect that Israel will unleash weapons of warfare we've never seen before. And at the end of it, Israel will take over from the United States as the new ruling state in the world. But Israel cannot wage that war while still there are any significant obstacles in the way. And now put on your thinking caps. Which is the most significant obstacle which still stands in the way of Israel waging her big war? Is it a man named Osama bin Laden and his men hiding in caves in Afghanistan? Is it that blue-eyed stooge of the Yankee, a man named Saddam Hussein? Are they significant obstacles in the path of Israel? Is it Taliban in Afghanistan? Wake up. None of these are significant obstacles in the path of Israel. Israel has one major obstacle in its way that must be removed before Israel can wage that big war. And it is Pakistan's nuclear weapons capacity. And coupled with that is Iran's missile capacity. And so all the hullabaloo we're going through now, all the maneuverings on the chessboard of the world, are all intended to culminate with the destruction of Pakistan's nuclear capacity. That is around the corner. That's about to take place. Pervez Musharraf, of course, is playing a very significant role in it. I expect that Israel will be able to wage a big war probably within the next 5 to 10 years. But Allah knows best. When Israel wages that big war and replaces the United States as a ruling state in the world, the first ruling state was Britain. The second ruling state was the United States. The third and the last would be this impostor, the state of Israel. I am suggesting to you that Dajjal, or the Antichrist, would now have completed stage 2, a day which is like a month, and would be commencing stage 3, a day which is like a week, meaning a much shorter period of time. It is at this time that terrorism reaches its climax. They not only attacked Sheikh Ahmad Yassin in an act of state terrorism that Washington did not see. They have now attacked and killed Abdulaziz Rantisi, and they have declared that they're going to continue killing all those who dare to lift their hands against the state of Israel. This is the biggest terrorist of all in the world, the state of Israel. But CNN will never tell you that. When Israel becomes the ruling state in the world, it is at that time that Muslims and black Christian Africa, these two are brothers with each other. Black Christian Africa, black Christian Africa opened their arms to Muslims when we were being persecuted, when war on Islam was being waged in the lifetime of Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam. And a Christian king, a black Christian king in Africa protected us. I will never send them back to you, he said. And he looked at Islam and he looked at Christianity and he said, that which divides us from you is no more than this line in the sand, the Negus of Abyssinia. So too it was at that time. So too again it is today. The major attacks that Israel will launch will be on Muslims and black Christian Africans. The Prophet said that a man will pass by a grave and would roll on the grave and would say, I wish I were in the grave rather than the dead man, because of biting, relentless oppression. But it will not last forever. The Dajjal or the Antichrist would be born. He would grow up. He would become the ruler of the state of Israel. He would rule the world from Jerusalem the way George Bush is ruling from Washington. I expect this within the next 50 years or so, but Allah knows best. It's going to be a horrible 50 years ahead of us. Horrible. And then he will declare, I am the Messiah. And the Jews will accept him as the Messiah. And then he'll rub his hands and say, mission accomplished. It is at that time that the Son of Mary will now come back, not before. Jesus cannot return until the Antichrist has completed his mission. The Christians of this country would do well if they would come to Islam so that Muslims can explain to them the subject of the Antichrist as it has been explained to them today, as never before explained to them. Jesus cannot return until the Antichrist has completed his mission. The Antichrist has completed almost 2/3 of his mission, but there is 1/3 still remaining. At that time, the Son of Mary comes down, and the true Messiah now kills the false Messiah. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will destroy Gog and Magog, and that's our next lecture, inshallah. So you've got to come back next month. And then said the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, just listen to these two ahadith and we'll be finished. He said, when you see the black flags coming from the direction of Khurasan, Afghanistan is part of Khurasan. He said, go and join that army. These are two ahadith combined here.